The top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. arrives in Jakarta, Indonesia to attend the 43rd Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit and related summits. PBBM vows government support to rice retailers who would be affected by the price ceiling on the commodity. A Senate panel approves the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President as VP Sara Duterte defended the budget, including the controversial confidential funds and the issue on hundreds of security aids. And President Volodymyr Zelensky replaces Ukraine's defense minister as it aims to eliminate the corruption brewing from within his administration. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, the 4th of September, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has arrived in Jakarta, Indonesia to attend the 43rd Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit and related summits. The president is expected to push some important issues in the region during the three-day event. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has touched down at the Indonesian capital for the 43rd Association of Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN Summit.
In his pre-departure speech, the president vowed to advance the country's interests with his engagements with ASEAN and its dialogue partners.
My participation will highlight our advocacies in promoting a rules-based international order, including in the South China Sea, strengthening food security, calling for climate justice, tapping the potential of the digital and creative economies, protecting migrant workers in crisis situations, as well as combating trafficking in persons.
The president said he will also work with other member states to address not only the complex challenges facing the region, but also in pursuing opportunities for ASEAN as an epicentrum of growth. He said the series of meetings is a strategic opportunity for ASEAN to deepen its partnership with Australia, Canada, India, China, Japan, Korea, the United States, and the United Nations.
We will foster cooperation with these countries in areas such as trade and investment, climate action, food security, clean energy, and maritime cooperation.
The president is expected to attend 13 leaders-level engagements, 12 of which are summit sessions with other leaders. The 43rd Summit and related summits has for its theme ASEAN Matters, Epicentrum of Growth. It will conclude on September 7 with a handover ceremony of the ASEAN chairmanship from Indonesia to Lao People's Democratic Republic. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, did not have more extension for the filing of the Certificates of Candidacy, or COCs. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has concluded the filing of Certificates of Candidacy, or COCs, for the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan Elections, or BSKE, today, September 4. Chairman George Erwin Garcia said it has a large turnout. The port chief added they gave enough time for the election activity.
Huling araw na po ito at hanggang alas 5 lamang ng hapon yung cut-off po natin. Kahit po walang pasok ang mga paaralan dito sa NCR, kahit sa Abra, lakas din po ng ulan. Pero nagdesisyon na po tayo hanggang alas 5 lamang talaga.
The poll body expects 1.4 to 1.5 million turnout of COC filers.
Actually, kahapon pumunta kami dito para magkasikaso ng mga dokumento. Kaso nga lang, meron kaming isang document na nakaligtaan.
As of 11 o'clock this morning, COMELEC data shows a total of 1,390,163 COC filers, excluding those who filed in Abra and National Capital Region. Meanwhile, the COMELEC will put the town of Malabang in Lanao del Sur under COMELEC control. This is after a violence or election-related incident occurred last Friday while the COC filing was ongoing.
Kasalukuyan, pinag-a-apply natin ng PNP ng warrant of arrest upang ma-aresto kaagad. Number 1. Number 2, pa-file namin ng kaso siya ng violation ng gun ban at illegal discharge of firearms, alarm and scandal. At the same time, yung mismong politiko o mga politikong na-involved sa pagpigil sa pagpa-file ng candidacy ay pa-file din namin ng kaso lahat.
Additional troops of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and Philippine National Police were deployed in the area. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippine National Police is eyeing to file a civil case versus Wilfredo Gonzales. Gonzales is a dismissed cop who drew his gun on a cyclist in Quezon City on August 8. PNP Retirement and Benefits Administration Service Director Police Brigadier General Nino David Rabaya said Gonzales is required to return to the PNP the 588,000 peso retirement benefits he received after his retirement on 2016. Police Brigadier General Rabaya adds they will file a case if Gonzales failed to return the said amount.
He will be taking civil action against him. We have already referred this to our legal, and then civil action will be undertaken against him if he refused to return the amount.
Rabaya said Gonzales did not receive his pension because the PNP received his dismissal order on 2019. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assured the government's support to rice retailers who would be affected by the price ceiling on the said commodity. Nel Maribuhok will tell us why.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. vowed that the government will give assistance to rice retailers who would be affected by the implementation of price ceiling on the commodity. Before leaving for Jakarta, Indonesia, President Marcos presided the meeting with some government agencies and discussed mitigating measures for rice retailers affected by Executive Order Number 39 or the imposition of mandated price ceilings on rice. According to the President, the concerned agencies are now preparing some measures to help the rice retailers.
Sa kasalukuyan, ang ating DTI, ang ating Department of Agriculture, ay gumagawa ng listahan ng ating mga rice retailers, yung mga association ng mga rice retailer, kung sino man ang mga rice retailer. At habang ginagawa yan, kinakalkula rin kung ano ang magiging lugi ng mga rice retailer dahil nga sa price cap. Kaya ang DSWD naman ay tiniyak namin na meron silang pondo ihanda upang pag nakalkula na natin ang lugi ng mga rice retailer ay bibigyan naman natin sila ng tulong, katumbas na tulong.
Among the proposed measures to alleviate the effects on retailers was financial assistance in wet markets and neighborhood sundry stores, loan programs, and logistics support like providing government transportation for transferring sacks of rice from traders to retailers or wholesalers. The President said the imposition of price ceiling on rice is just temporary.
Kailangan ko may paliwanag. Ito po ay pangsamantala lamang. Hindi ito tatagal. Pagdating, tayo'y umaani na ng palay. Umaani na tayo ng palay dito sa Pilipinas. Tapos na ang season. Kaya pagdating ng panahon, papasok pa, meron tayong mga in-import na bigas. Sabay-sabay na papasok yan. At makikita, basta't ilalagay namin, dadali natin sa palengke, pabayaan uli natin ang presyo ng bigas na maghanap ng sarili niyang presyo.
PBBM's EO mandated the price cap of 41 pesos per kilo for regular milled rice and 45 pesos per kilo for well-milled rice. The cap would take effect on September 5, Tuesday. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, President Volodymyr Zelensky replaces Ukraine's defense minister amidst grave allegations surrounding his ministry. Ruth Bahe will tell us the details live. Yes, Ruth, good evening.
Good evening, Marielle. The replacement of the defense minister came as President Volodymyr Zelensky aims to eliminate the corruption brewing from within his administration. Defense Minister Alexei Reskinov, who has been present since the beginning of the invasion and responsible for the billions of dollars from the Western military aid, has found himself in the middle of many allegations. In his nightly video to the country, he addressed the decision, mentioning new approaches and other formats being needed in the ministry.
Я вирішив провести заміну міністра оборони України. Олексій Резніков пройшов ці більш ніж 550 днів повномасштабної війни. Я вважаю, що міністерство потребує нових підходів та інших форматів взаємодії як з військовими, так і з суспільством в цілому.
The new defense minister appointed will be the head of Ukraine's privatization fund, Rostam Umerov, who has been praised for his achievements at the State Property Fund, where he oversees assets. Meanwhile, President Zelensky has secured an agreement with the French President Emmanuel Macron to train Ukrainian pilots in France. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you for that live report, Ruth Bahe. We'll share more global stories with you later. But for now, back to you, William.
Thank you, Marielle. For those of you watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook. A Senate panel approves the proposed budget of the Office of the Vice President as Vice President Sara Duterte defended the budget, including the controversial confidential funds and the issue on hundreds of security aids. Harleen Delgado will tell us why.
Minority senators grilled the Office of the Vice President as the subcommittee of the Senate Committee on Finance tackled its proposed 2.8 billion peso budget for 2024. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Hontiveros questions the 500 million peso proposed confidential fund by the OVP, despite the presence of security agencies that do intelligence and surveillance work. The opposition senator takes note that the requested confidential funds of the OVP is higher than the proposed confidential funds of the Department of National Defense and the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, or NICA. Vice President Sara Duterte defends the budget, saying that they use confidential funds for all of their programs, including responding to complaints.
Yung million trees, yung pagbabago advocacy, libreng sakay, the permanent office, the VP's museum, and the omnibus law or charter, bawat isa sa mga ito gagastusan ng confidential funds ng opisina nyo?
Yes. Mainly, the confidential funds, as I said, is for the safe, secure, and successful implementations of the programs, projects, and activities and engagements of the Office of the Vice President.
The Vice President also cites her work as co-vice chairperson of the National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAC. Despite this, VP Duterte says they defer to the decision of Congress whether or not to grant the requested budget.
Iwan natin ang intelligence sa experts dun sa intelligence agencies ng gobyerno in the same way na yung mga civilian agencies ng gobyerno, whether OVP itself or kahit DepEd, ay kumbaga shop nila yung kanilang mandates at yung kanilang expertise.
We can only propose, but we are not insisting. We can live without confidential funds. But of course, our work will be much easier if we have the flexibility of confidential funds in monitoring the safe, secure, and successful implementations of the programs, projects, and activities of the Office of the Vice President.
Senate Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel also questions the 221 million pesos requested by the OVP from the Office of the President's Contingency Fund in 2022. Pimentel notes that there is no line item in the 2022 national budget budget for the OVP's confidential funds. VP Duterte confirms they made the request, but defers to the Department of Budget and Management that approved the request to explain it in detail. The OVP also confirms that a total of 433 personnel were assigned to the Vice Presidential Security and Protection Group, or VPSPG. The office explains the group was formed in 2022 to provide security to the incumbent and future vice presidents. But VP Duterte clarifies the VPSPG consists of members of the police and the military, and no money is being spent by the OVP for their salaries.
Is there an explanation for such a large number, as has been criticized in both the media as well as Congress?
The determination on the number and deployment of VPSPG personnel is largely dependent on the assessment of the AFP and the PNP.
The Senate panel approves the budget of the OVP after over an hour and a half long deliberation. Jorlene Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the Valenzuela City Local Government Unit will not allow residents to return to their homes which were damaged by the collapsed wall due to saturated ground caused by continuous rain in Barangay Mapulang Lupa and Barangay Ugong yesterday morning, September 3rd. 10 families will be relocated to Disciplina Village, while 18 renters and sharers will receive financial assistance to find suitable housing. However, this number may still increase after the completion of the danger zone mapping. A bedridden senior citizen died and 28 families were evacuated during the incident.
Well, mag-announce na ho kami na this is unsafe and i-condemn na po. So meaning ng condemn, bawal na ho sila bumalik for safety reasons. Nakita naman po natin incident. First of all, wala na yung pader At ang kanilang tahanan nakadikit sa pader It's about time na ito pong 10 pamilya natin ay mabigyan na ng sapat at maayos at safe po na tahanan sa aming Disciplina Village. No? Tayo po ay magbibigay ng 10,000 per family po. Para ho makahanap na ho sila ng lugar kung saan po pwede silang pangsamantala po or permanently. Tingin ko po permanente na ho ang maging desisyon natin na magrenta ho sa ibang lugar.
The Department of Transportation mentions the possibility of tapping private investors with regards to the Philippine National Railway South Long Haul Project or the Laguna to Bicol Railway Project. This is because China has yet to approve the loan or contract for the construction of the project from Calamba to Daraga Albay 1 year after the deal was signed. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The Philippine National Railways or PNR South Long Haul Project is one of the priority projects of the Department of Transportation for 2024 under the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The Laguna to Bicol Railway Project is a 142 billion pesos deal signed between the Philippines and China in 2022. However, the Department of Transportation revealed that China has not yet approved the contract or loan for the project. Thus, Transportation Undersecretary Cesar Chavez mentioned the possibility of scrapping the project with China. The official made a statement during the presentation of the Transportation's proposed national budget for 2024 before the House Appropriations Panel.
Our position is that by the end of December, the Department of Transportation will have to go back to NEDA to ask for a guidance whether to still request for funding from the China Exim Bank or to terminate the private management consultancy and also to withdraw the loan application, reapplication for the China Exim Bank.
With this, the government may open the PNR South Long Haul Project with other foreign funding source or private sectors.
If we cannot get a definitive reply from the foreign funding, we need to terminate the project management consultancy so that we can proceed with another options. To proceed this with another foreign funding institutions, or we go with the PPP modality.
Under the 2024 proposed budget of DOTR, the Marcos administration wants to allocate more than 3 billion pesos for the PNR South Long Haul project. Rosa Licos, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, 2 dams in Benguet continue to release water due to the rains brought by the southwest monsoon, which was strengthened by Typhoon Hana. These dams include Ambuklao and Binga Dam. 2 gates each were opened in Ambuklao and Binga Dam, with an opening of 0.5 meters in Ambuklao and 0.6 meters in Binga Dam. The normal high water level for Ambuklao Dam is 752 meters, and its current water level is at 751.51 meters. According to the Office of Civil Defense Cordillera, the barangay that could be affected is Barangay Ambuklao, Bokod, Benguet. Meanwhile, in Binga Dam, the normal high water level is 575 meters and its current water level is 573.32 meters. The areas to be affected are Barangay Daluprip and Tinogan in Itogon, Benguet. A new low-pressure area, or LPA, has formed in the Philippine Area of Responsibility, or PAR, today. According to the monitoring of the Philippine Weather Bureau Pag-asa, it is located at 870 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon. Pag-asa states that it may intensify into a tropical cyclone within the next 24 hours and may be locally named Ineng. The trough of the LPA will bring scattered rain showers and thunderstorms to Cagayan and Isabela. Meanwhile, the southwest monsoon will bring rainy conditions to Pangasinan, Zambales, Bataan, and Occidental Mindoro. Occasional rains will be experienced in Metro Manila, the rest of the Ilocos region, Apayao, Abra, Benguet, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Rizal, Cavite, and Batangas. The rest of Luzon will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Isolated rain showers and thunderstorms will prevail in the rest of the country.
And in other global news, in Victoria, Australia, paramedics with patients suffer 120 years of long wait for patients to be admitted to hospital. Maven Carizo will give us the details live. Good evening, Maven.
Good evening to you, Marielle. Victorian Health Minister Mary Ann Thomas addresses issues to federal government to stop wasted prolonged period for paramedics with patients at hospitals before they are seen by doctors. Shadow Minister for Health Georgie Crozier calls the event as ramping. It is caused by lack of available beds in emergency departments, having treatments delayed. Many is said to be with life-threatening conditions. According to the obtained documents from Internal Ambulance Victoria, it showed that over the last 5 years, their staff spent a cumulative 525,000 hours, also equivalent to 120 years waiting at emergency departments. Ms. Thomas pointed blames to National Disability Insurance Scheme for packages not being approved in time for patients to leave hospitals, which is a responsibility of the federal government. Meanwhile, paramedics wait for an average of 80 minutes per patient, which is double the target of 40 minutes per patient. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Maven Carizo, reporting live from Australia. Taiwan Central Weather Bureau confirmed Typhoon Haikui's landfall at 3:40 p.m. local time on Sunday, September 3. Wreaking havoc with its torrential downpours, violent winds, and widespread power outages. This prompted authorities to evacuate nearly 4,000 residents from high-risk areas, leading to cancellation of hundreds of flights and temporary closure of businesses across the region. The military also mobilized soldiers and equipment, including amphibious vehicles and inflatable rubber boats in various regions. Throughout the island, over 21,000 households experienced power outage. Majority had their electricity restored by mid-afternoon. However, approximately 9,000 households, including those in Tairang, remained without power. Authorities reported 2 minor injuries in Hualien County, a mountainous region that had been placed on flash flood alert due to the risk of falling trees causing accidents. Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen expressed concerns about Haikui being the first typhoon in 4 years to traverse the central mountain range, which spans the island from north to south, which raises the possibility of landslides in the surrounding areas. The Weather Bureau warned that the most intense rainfall and wind effects would occur after landfall, and the typhoon was projected to move into the Taiwan Strait by Monday evening, September 4. Residents are urged to remain vigilant and follow safety guidelines as they brace for further impacts. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Maria Latoza reporting live from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
The Senate AFP and PNP teams continue to dominate in their matches in the UNTV Volleyball League. The AFP Lady Gunners remain undefeated and are leading in the team standings. Rina Villamor Camara is back for the report.
A close fight between Judiciary and Senate with long rallies in the first game of the UVL Games. Lady Defenders dominated the first set with 20-25. However, they were scoreless in the start of the second set by giving the Justice servers that 7-point advantage before they even got to score. Judiciary snatched that lead 25-20. Errors failed the Judiciary in the third set that led to the Senate winning that set 25-23. Both teams tried their best to stay in the game. However, the Lady Defenders have once again proven their consistency in playing 25-22 with Sheila Cecilio as best player of the game.
Sinasabi ko lang sa kanila, maniwala lang kayo sa kakayanan nyo, maniwala kayo sa galing ninyo. Huwag kayong maglaro based din sa nilalaro ng kalaban. Meron kayong laro, meron kayong iniensayo, yun ang gawin ninyo.
In the second game, AFP succeeded to walk away with a clean slate after defeating the Ombudsman Raftbusters in 3 straight sets, 14-25, 16-25, and 4-25. Yena Lores performed with the most intensity in the game.
Pa rin kasi kailangan mag-relax. So kailangan continuous pa rin yung practice nila, then makipag-tune-ups pa rin sa mga ibang teams para yung galaw nila tuloy-tuloy, hindi bumababa, kailangan dapat umaangat. So para pag-game nila is, ayan, maganda yung result.
In the third set, PNP showcased their veteran moves by giving more attacks and blocks in the game. 13-25 in the first set. An almost tied score in the second set, but TFA was not able to secure that win, 22-25. An even better digs was done by Lady Patrollers in the third set, 18-25. Tin Bangkola was chosen best player of the game.
Pinagandaan naman talaga namin sila kasi hindi kami nagbigay ng kumpiyansa na bigyan sila ng pagkakataon para matalo kami. Pinagandaan namin sila sa attack, sa service. Nag-aralan namin yung kung saan sila mahina, doon kami nag-focus.
Catch the next action of UVL Games this Sunday, September 10 at the Marikina Sports Complex. Judiciary versus Ombudsman at 1 p.m. PNP going up against Senate at 3 p.m. and AFP going up against DFA at 5 p.m. Rina Villamor Camara, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Our Kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems, may help us through this horrible predicament. There is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with the word giving glory to God from the book of James chapter 1, verse 20. It says, "For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God." And those are the reasons behind the news, September 4, 2023, reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.